And so today, the challenge is to bring war to an end. And that means bringing the war in Vietnam to an end. And I feel that America must take the initiative to bring this war to an end. We took the initiative in building up the war on the seas, on the ground, and in the air. And we are powerful enough to take the initiative in ending the war. And I hope that the descent will continue. There is a tragic tendency alive now to equate dissent with disloyalty, and try to imply that those who dissent are venal enemies of our soldiers. But I believe firmly that those who dissent are the soldiers' best friends, because we are saying in substance that our boys, some of the finest and most promising young men of our country, are being killed every day in a futile, costly, bloody war, and it's time for our sons to come back home, and we are their friends. And I should also say that there's something precious about free speech in our country. And we don't need even generals to leave the battlefield to come back home to try to create a climate for escalating the war in Vietnam. Somebody said to me the other day, Dr. King, don't you think that by taking a stand against the war in Vietnam, you're going to hurt your effectiveness and the civil rights movement? And don't you think that many people who once respected you will now lose respect for you? And don't you think you should reconsider and start talking more in terms of supporting our efforts in Vietnam? And I had to look at the question and said, I'm sorry, you don't know me, and I guess you've never known me. I'm not a consensus leader. I don't determine what is right and wrong by taking a Gallup poll of the majority opinion. And I feel that ultimately a genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. And I think ultimately the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and moments of convenience, but where he stands in moments of challenge and moments of controversy. And on the civil rights question, however much some will say it, the two issues are tied together. I refuse to be a victim of believing in segregation. I've fought too long against segregation in the South and in the North to come to the point now that I'm going to segregate my morality and my principles. I'm not only going to be concerned about justice for Negroes in the United States, because I know that justice is indivisible and injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. I'm concerned about justice for everybody the world over. And so let me end by saying that these are the challenges that we face, and I have not lost hope. I still feel that we can build right here in this nation the kind of coalition of conscience that will help us to face the challenge of change, and that will help us to face the challenges that we face in the midst of this moment of social transition. And I believe that we can build right here, if we will only do these things, a nation where every man will respect the dignity and worth of human personality. And this will be that glad day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Thank you.